the guy who actually took the top step on the podium this weekend, Max Verstappen, a win in Monza, sealed the deal on another incredible accomplishment. He owns 50% of the wins, no matter what, from this point on in the season, from this current regulation set. The guy's dominated it the whole way. This weekend, kind of another example of that domination. It's converting pole to a 19-second win on Sunday. Choosing between this drive, his other two wins this year, this one might stand out a little bit more, but defending against the McLarens, that might be a part of that conversation. But I wanted to ask this. Does this season, begging the question of Adrian Newey, if Adrian hadn't left, would Max be properly fighting for his 5th straight title this year?
Yeah, no doubt. I think he would absolutely be in it right now.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have the car. He doesn't have the car. He doesn't have the consistent car. I mean, they're clearly getting stuff out of the car for him, and he's getting the most he can out of the car. But yeah, I mean, if Newey were still there, I think they could still be in this fight. It's just they just don't have that consistency right now. But he's putting on a show. I mean, what he's doing is really special. I mean, we've always known he was a good driver, and his dominance in the last couple of years was something special. Don't get me wrong, but it's easy to be a special driver when you have a special car, right?
Mm-hmm.
This year is really showing just how good of a driver he is because he doesn't have that car. And we've seen what the other Red Bull driver looks like in the car. It's just awful.
I think Yuki finished like P18 or something like that this weekend.
Sounds
it was an abysmal drive. Same car. I mean, probably the exact same setup. If I had to guess, one guy wins the race by 19 seconds. The other guy can't figure out how to find the points. And this has been endemic for a while of that second Red Bull seat, which is why conversations about who's going to be in the second seat next year, a whole new regulation, but like it feels cursed. If you're Isaac Hadjar, do you even want to be in the second seat next year? Because
no, absolutely
the comparison's going to be ridiculous. I think this is, I don't know. Personally, I'm looking at this. I think about Adrian Newey leaving. You can look back at what happened with Christian Horner, and that had to be a big part of it. Jumping to Aston Martin's going to be interesting to watch moving forward. But seeing what Max has done this year in comparison to not just his teammates, but to the rest of the field, I think it's been nothing short of incredible. It's unfortunate that the car just isn't quite there because having not just the McLarens fighting each other, that's interesting. We've gotten a bit of, like I mentioned earlier, a bit of a milquetoast title battle. But imagine if Max was in this properly ruining people's weekends. If he grabs maybe 2 or 3 more wins, he's probably in second place, really close to first, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, he'd be right in this if Oscar wasn't so good.
Yeah,
that's the reality. If Oscar just was slipping up more, if Oscar was more like Lando than he's like himself, then Max would be right in this thing, right? If the gap wasn't so big, 100%. I mean, he's not that far behind Lando at this point, I don't think. He's in striking distance.
Look it up.
Yeah,
he's 63 points behind at this stage of the season, driving what we might believe is truly a midfield car with anybody else driving it. Like
a tractor. He's driving literally a tractor. It's a garbage car. Let's just call it what it is. It's not a good car. And yet he's taking it to places that you're just like, oh my God. I don't think I've seen a driver do this in a very long time in a car like that.
There's some other really good talents along the grid, but I don't think if anybody else was driving that thing, it would be relatively close. Like Charles, Ferrari have struggled a lot this year. He's found some podiums, hasn't been close to winning, right? Mercedes have a win, but they're not consistent the same way that Ferrari haven't been quite consistent. Max is, if you put him in either the Ferrari or the Mercedes, this might be a legit championship battle between 3 drivers at this point. At least that's my feeling on it. And that's no disrespect to Charles. I think he's fantastic, and maybe not disrespectful to George. I think he's having the best season of his career, but these guys are on the upper echelon, and then Max is right there. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong.
No, I think Max is showing that you could take Max and put him in any era and he would thrive. He's an amazing driver. I mean, he's one of the best to ever do it. He's a generational talent. He's leaps and bounds ahead of everybody else in the sport right now. And I don't see that slowing down anytime soon. It's going to be really interesting to see what he does with his career moving forward. I think he should leave Red Bull, but we'll see. We'll see what seats open up. We'll see what makes sense. But yeah, I mean, this weekend was really special. Even him taking back the lead from Lando when he had to give it up. I mean, because that car is so much better than
Yeah.
Well, I mean, part of it too, clean air, get him in the first couple laps,
but that's exactly what I was going to say, is that Lando getting the clean air and still not being able to hold on to the lead in comparison was surprising to me, because it felt like as soon as the positions were swapped, he relinquished it to avoid the penalty. Like it was basically going to be a McLaren 1-2, 1-3 situation, but Max just took it to him, and he's remained this kind of nemesis for Lando, because when Lando obviously isn't quite catching up to Oscar on a weekend, Max is basically right in his rearview mirrors. It has been pretty close as far as the P2, even if it doesn't necessarily reflect it. I am curious, and I think you and I are probably going to agree on this, but if Max and Oscar were swapped, this championship is completely over with.
Yeah. Done. It would have been done like 3 races ago. Like maybe not. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but yeah, no, it would be done. It'd be a foregone.
Like Oscar's impressive, but if you replace him, put him in the Red Bull, I don't know if he's necessarily even P3, with all due respect. And I do think Oscar is, generally speaking, the best driver of the season. I mean, doing what he's doing, championship pressure, your first time at a proper championship opportunity, and you're winning all these damn races. But yeah, Max is. Speaking on Max's future a little bit before I move forward, the thing that is interesting to me going into this next regulation is not only, of course, that he's staying with Red Bull after all the conversation about whether he was going to leave the team. There were not really a lot of seats, not a lot of opportunities. Mercedes is going to move forward with their pair. This conversation doesn't end here, because of the same position next year. If the Ford partnership isn't working out, what's going to be open? What potential move does Max make? You and I have talked about this privately, but you believe Max is going to end up almost inevitably where?
I mean, I think he's going to go to Aston Martin. I think he should go to Aston Martin. I think Adrian Newey's there. They've got the money. They've got the crew. He's got the co-driver in Alonso. It just makes the most sense to me that he should just go there. It's a tough thing to predict, though, obviously, new regulations. But Adrian Newey's had a year now to work on this car for the new regulations, and he's one of the best of all time. And so I just think that it would make the most sense for him to go there. There's not really a lot of other options. Not really. I don't think he's going to go to Mercedes. I know there was a lot of buzz about that, but I just think Mercedes is probably pretty comfy with the drivers that they have moving forward into the new regulations. Don't mess with something that's working really well. Besides
Ferrari,
that, I mean,
Charles ain't going anywhere. Lewis is signed
Hamilton's not going anywhere. It's not. There's nowhere for him to really go. He's not going to McLaren. Am I forgetting anybody? Williams?
I mean, he's not going to go any further down the field, right? I mean, like, unless Williams absolutely crush it, but they've got some longer lucrative extensions with Albon and Sainz. And while I think if Max Verstappen really became an option, anything could be figured out, so to speak. But a lot of the teams orbiting competitiveness that aren't Aston Martin are pretty set, at least going into the next year to 2 years, right? 2026, we already know what Cadillac's going to do, but there's no way in hell he'd go to Cadillac. Stake, F1 are becoming Audi, but they're going to be a completely, ground up new operation almost. So yeah, I think that we kind of end up in the same place maybe next year, but I think the real conversation comes down to like how much Saudi pressure has to come into the Aston Martin camp before Lance Stroll is playing tennis or playing paddleball in Monaco by himself. You know what I mean?
I think there's a real shot that happens this offseason. I really do, because if you think about it, okay, if you're Max, what do you need? You need a car. You need somebody who can build the car and give you a good car, right? Okay, he's got Adrian Newey. And then you need a lot of money, right? My fingers aren't showing up. But you need a lot of money, right? And
they've got that whole damn spaceship engineering facility over in Silverstone now. So it's not like they haven't built the infrastructure.
Right. And you need one other thing. You need a seat. Well, Lance Stroll is not really the guy. So there you go. I mean, it just makes the most sense. So the question is, how committed is Aston Martin to actually fighting for a title? Because if you actually are serious about this sport, I mean, Max Verstappen is as good as it gets. Yeah, no.
How does the reserve seat sound,
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't proven himself. He just hasn't. I mean, he's had some decent moments here and there over the years, but he's just not. He's just not the guy.
Like, you could argue this might be Stroll's best year of his career, outside of like the off a podium he had in like Hungary once. But Yeah, he's not cutting the mustard. There's no way they win a championship with
He's
one
not Max
arm
Verstappen.
effectively. There's no, but even let's say Aston Martin next year, just for the sake of argument, are competitive. They're a top 3 team. They're fighting with what people believe are going to happen with Mercedes. McLaren are going to have the same engine. Aston Martin are going to have the same engine, or no, they're going to have a Honda engine. But let's say they're fighting up at the front, right? Ferrari have botched it, but let's say like Ferrari will probably be in there too. You're fighting with one arm effectively tied behind your back, because if you go down that entire lineup, I can't think of a single driver I'd want less than Lance Stroll.
Oh, no. Yeah, no. Every other competitive car is going to have a better lineup than you. And that
the closest competition you'd have on just general talent merit is going to be a year 2 Kimi Antonelli, who will have figured some stuff out by then, hopefully.
I also just can't believe that Adrian Newey would go there if there wasn't some reassurance that Stroll is going to be exiting here, either this year or the following year. I can't imagine to be like, oh yeah, I'll go here. Because I know Ferrari was even talking to him, like, why wouldn't he go to Ferrari then and work with Leclerc and Hamilton? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know money's involved there, and also, like, you know.
I mean, they gave him what's the equivalent of like $100 million, something along those lines, for 3 years. So it's they paid him very, very well to be there. I mean, money can really speak to you. We're both NFL fans. We saw what happened with Myles Garrett. I want out of Cleveland so bad. How does $45 million a year sound, right? And it doesn't sound like a problem to me. So
the thing is, though, he's made a lot of money over the years. So to him, I mean, money is important, right? That's generational wealth we're talking about there. But at the same time,
he's made a ton of it. He's like in his mid 70s at this point too. It's not like he's sticking around to like, use a load of it.
Yeah. He's just looking for a challenge at this point. I think he's like, cool, new regulations. Let me go to a new team and build an entire thing from scratch. I love doing that. I've done it at Red Bull, did it at Williams. Like, yeah, it just. I think that makes the most sense for Max, but we'll see. I mean, maybe he'll just stick it out at Red Bull. Maybe he really likes it there and he has faith in them. Only time will tell.
I mean, the leadership change with Red Bull too is part of it. I think Lauren Mecky's being promoted up, taking Christian Horner's spot. Obviously, Horner and Jos Verstappen butted heads a ton over the years. Saw that a lot in the media. It's not like he was necessarily getting along with Helmut Marko towards the end of that relationship. Dietrich Mateschitz, who was a major player behind the scenes for Red Bull, no longer with us, died some time ago. Mm-hmm. And the tie backing, I think they just lost faith. At a certain point, it was like, this is getting too stressful. People are leaving us, even while we're not winning races the same way we were. People are just jumping ship because they don't like you. And I think the culture change might be some reason that he might stick around. If the second driver opposite of him, let's say it is Hadjar, new regulation, they this clean slate the car. They're not building it just for one guy anymore. Maybe the teammate might be attractive too, but
the problem with that is we know that Max doesn't really care about culture, clearly, because he stayed at Red Bull. He wants to win, right? He wants a car that's competitive. So I think at the end of the day, that's going to be the most important thing. I just don't.
But I'm saying, I guess what I'm getting at is like, if there's signs of encouragement there that things are going to get better. Like, obviously, the first year, the Ford relationship isn't necessarily going to be great. Nobody's expecting it to be perfect from get-go. It's a huge undertaking, even if they're only putting together 30% of the power unit. 30% of your engine, is very volatile. That's probably not going to be great year one. But if there's some signs of positivity there, let's say he's hanging around podiums, maybe he grabs the odd win here or there, right? Does that keep Max Verstappen sticking around?
Maybe, but the thing is also the field's going to be more competitive next year because it's new regulations. The gap isn't going to be as large, right? Everything's going to get closer together. So Ferrari will be in this Mercedes. Yeah, right. Well, let's assume Ferrari's going to be in this. Mercedes is going to be in this. McLaren will still be in this. It might take them a little bit to get into it, but they'll be in it. Williams could be in it. We don't really know what's going to happen with Cadillac and Audi. Like, it's going to be really tough for Red Bull to just kind of be in it if all those other teams are also competing and have kind of had they're just a more cohesive team building into these regulations. I just don't have a whole lot of faith in Red Bull in the next couple of years. They seem to be trending down, not trending up, but we'll see. I mean, maybe it could happen. I just think if I were Max, I would probably be looking at trying to get out and go somewhere else, but it only makes sense if the offer's right and the fit is right.
I mean, because it's not like they're not paying him well, but nonetheless, we talked a lot, kind of gone off the rails from where it started, but a good conversation here. But I just want to know what the TLPs think. Make sure to comment down below. Do you think that we're off our rockers, that we're crazy? Like, where does Max end up going? There's a lot to really dive into, but I just want to know what the TLP community thinks.